I'm Yasemin. I'll be all talking about how to raise my son bilingually on my second language, English. First of all, I want to briefly describe my background. I was born and raised in Turkey. I'm a native Turkish speaker who learns English roughly 4 years ago. I live with my husband and my son, who is 4 and he's going to Turkish kindergarten. We all are living in Turkey. In this video, I wanted to talk about my method, environment, and challenges with you on this journey raising a kid bilingual. The first thing I want to talk about is the reason why I want to raise my son bilingually. Ever since I started learning English, I wanted my son to acquire English at an early age. Kinda don't want him to struggle the way I struggled learning language. Back then, I knew for a fact that the only way to learn a language is to live in any English speaking country. After all, we came across opportunity and started living abroad for almost a year. On a related note, it wasn't an English speaking country. We were lucky enough to find an international kindergarten whose teachers were speaking both native language and English. After my son had attended this school roughly 6 months, he started acquiring English, but not in a way that he started speaking English from day one. As a matter of fact, he resisted talking English until we started speaking English at home to encourage him. After we returned to our home country, I made a decision to raise my son bilingually. Seeing other kids speak English, even though they are taught by non native speakers, gave me courage to reach this decision. I want to share our environment with you to give you a better idea of how I'm raising my son bilingually. In the beginning, I didn't know much about the methods of raising bilingual kids, so my husband and I started speaking English when we were all alone. We immediately switched back to Turkish when we were outside of the house or when someone else was around us. After a while, I realized that we wouldn't carry on a conversation in English if we stuck to this method. Therefore, I started speaking only English to my son no matter what. When I saw this method work for us, I decided to stick to it. Ever since then, I've been speaking only English to my son. The other topic which I found pretty important when it comes to raising kids bilingually is motivation. I like to talk about what makes me motivated and keeps me going on this journey. As a matter of fact, it is not an easy thing to do, considering you are the only source of this language. It puts lots of pressure on your shoulder. There are lots of moments that make you question your method or give up. For example, not seeing any progress in your kids or your struggles with the language, like the moments you get stuck when you are speaking or worrying about what others think of you, being criticized, so on and so forth. I was getting tired easily when I spoke English to my son in the beginning. I gave up on that many times when I got overwhelmed. After that, I decided to stick to English. I used different techniques and methods instead of quitting speaking English. For example, I started looking up the words that I wasn't familiar with and started watching family vlogs to mimic the way they talk to their kids and study hard to take my level to the next level. And in this way, I started getting less and less tired when I'm speaking English to my son. And after all, it works for me. I'm able to carry on conversation in English all day long, and it doesn't drain my energy. By the way, it doesn't mean that I know every word or feel confident to describe every situation in English. Of course not. But looking up words when I'm stuck or keep on learning how native speakers describe the situation makes my situation easier for me. In the beginning, I felt like I wasn't fluent enough to raise a kid bilingually and kept studying all alone. All I did was to let my fear get the best out of me. Admitting to learning a language is a lifelong journey helps me a lot on this journey. I basically involved my son on my journey learning a language, and we started learning ever since then. In this video, I try to highlight the things which play a crucial role in raising a bilingual kid from my point of view. Hopefully, you found this video helpful. Before wrapping up, there is one thing I like to say to those of you who are interested in bilingualism. Consistency brings success. Don't be discouraged by anyone or anything which is gonna get in the way of your dream come true. If you keep speaking in the target language, sooner or later you'll start seeing the improvements in both yourself and your kid. Please share your thoughts and experiences with me in the comments. I look forward to learning from you. Bye.